Hello and welcome. I'm Sarah with Core Motion Fitness. This is your flow and flexibility and core strengthening class. We're going to take 45 minutes to work through a nice flowing flexibility challenge, moving into some isometric dynamic core work, and finish off with a stretch at the end. All you need is your mat today for this workout, so go ahead and grab that and let's go ahead and get going. We'll begin at the end of our mat. So feet underneath the hips, starting with a nice big inhale, reaching your arms up overhead, placing your palms together, squeezing through your glutes, lifting up and back. Good. On your next inhale, take this into a forward fold. So rounding through your back, letting your hands hang toward the floor. And bending both knees, crouch into a small ball. Tucking your chin, rounding through your spine. And roll yourself all the way up, beginning from the top. Big inhale at the top, extending the arms up and back, squeezing through your glutes. And forward fold, rounding through your back, maybe finding some movement in your head and neck. And crouching into a small ball. Roll yourself all the way up. One more time, finding a little bit more flexibility every single time. And forward fold. Crouch down into that small ball. And roll yourself all the way up, reaching your arms back up at the top, and we are moving on into our next segment, tipping at the hips into that forward fold once again, feeling a nice rounding through the back. Place your hands on your thighs, flattening your back, stretching through the back of your legs. Good. From here, we're gonna walk ourselves out into a plank position, so placing your hands on the mat, walk out into a plank position, always having the option to be on your knees if you prefer. And lifting our hips, let's reach them up and back. And from here, we're going to reach our right hand across our body to our left leg and place it back down on the mat and switch to the other side. One more for each side. Great job. Place both hands on the mat. Walk your hands back to your feet, softening your knees. Roll yourself all the way up. And big inhale at the top. And we will repeat that whole segment. So roll yourself down into a forward fold. Come up into that half lift. Great job. Walk yourself out into a downward facing dog, or into a plank. And rock back into a downward facing dog. And from here, reaching one hand across your body. And release, switch to the other side. Great job. One more on each side. And let's take those hands and walk them back to our feet. Again, softening our knees, rolling ourselves all the way up. Big inhale at the top, one more time. So forward fold. Again, finding more flexibility every time we go through. Walk our hands back to our thighs, nice flat back, looking out toward the end of your mat. And reach to the ground, walk out into a plank. Again, knee plank or toe plank, your choice. On your next inhale, reach back into a downward facing dog. And reach one arm across your body. And set that hand down. Let's switch to the other side. And one more for each side. Great job. Last one right here. And walk your hands back to your feet. Bending both knees, roll yourself up. Again, big inhale at the top, and we are moving on. So go ahead and extend your right leg out in front, placing it gently on the ground so you're in a parallel position. From here, we're going to reach our arms out in front, hinging at our hips, trying to keep both legs as straight as we can. And then inhale, reach back up, squeezing your glutes, lift up and back. Hinge forward at your hips once again. And reach it up and back. Very nice. Let's go ahead and do one more. And inhale at the top, switch to the other leg, point the toes out in front, feet are in a nice parallel stance, and reach your arms out as you hinge at your hips. And inhale, right back to the top. And exhale forward. And inhale to the top. Great job, one more time. And inhale back to the top. Great job. All right, we're gonna take our right leg, place it behind our left leg, crouch down into a small ball as low as you're comfortable going. So crouch down. From here, the right leg behind, our right arm is going to reach up and over our body, extending to the left. Now take your right leg and step to the side into a side lunge. As you lunge, lift your right arm up and enjoy a nice rotation. Let's try all of that again. So step your right leg behind, crouch down into a small ball, and reach those arms up and over. And take your right leg, step to the side, into that side lunge. Rotate and lift the arm to the sky. Great, one more time. Crouch into that small ball, right leg comes behind. And reaching up and over. Good, and step your right leg to the side. Big side lunge. And step both feet together, and we are going to repeat that whole sequence on the left side. Left leg comes behind, crouch down into a small ball, keeping in mind your flexibility is different on each side. Great job. Now left arm reaches up and over the body, meet it with your right arm. And we'll take that left leg and step it out to the side into our side lunge. Finding the rotation through the trunk. And take it back into the center, crouch down into your small ball. Left arm comes up and over the body. And lunging to the side. Find the rotation. Very good job. Step it back in, and let's begin from the very top. So inhaling at the top of your mat, feet are underneath the hips, reaching your hands together, squeezing your glutes, lifting up and back into that back bend, and now forward fold. So we're going to move a little bit faster through this flow now that we know it. Forward fold, crouch down into a small ball, and sweep both arms up. We'll do that one more time, lifting up at the top, and forward fold. Crouch down into a small ball, and sweep your arms up, and we're moving on. Forward fold. Let that head hang between your arms. Come into a half lift, hands to your thighs. Looking out at your mat, walk your hands to the end of your mat into a plank position. Hold, and rock back into your downward facing dog. Taking your right arm, reach across to your left, and replace that hand to the floor. Switch to the other side. And one more on each side. And walk both hands back to your feet. Gently bend your knees and roll yourself all the way up, taking your right leg, step it forward into a parallel position, hinging at the hips. Reach your arms out in front and lift. Let's try that again. And exhale, lift one more time. And switch to the left side. Take your left leg and hinge at the hips. Reach your arms out in front. Try to keep both legs straight. I know sometimes that back leg wants to bend. And one more time here. Great job. Come up and right leg steps behind, crouch down into a small ball. Reach up and over. Lunge over to the right side with the rotation. And step together, left side. Take your left leg behind, crouch down into a small ball. And lift up and over. And let's lunge over to the left side. We're gonna repeat that sequence from the top. So take both feet underneath the hips. Big inhale at the top, squeezing through your glutes, lift up and back. And forward fold. Crouch down into a small ball. Roll yourself all the way up. One more time, please. Inhaling at the top, lift up and back. And forward fold. Good, crouch down into a small ball. And roll yourself up. Good, forward fold, tipping forward at the hips. Come into your half lift, extending through the spine. And walk your hands out into a plank position. Lifting your hips up and back, rock back into your downward facing dog. Reach one arm at a time across the body. And last one right here. Great job. Walk your hands back to your feet. And bend both knees, roll yourself up, and let's point those right toes out in front, both feet flat on the ground, and extend arms out in front, and then lift up nice and tall. Again, reach as long as you can. And one more time. Replace that right leg with your left leg, stepping it forward, hinging forward at the hips. And lift. Great job. Two more. And getting ready for that crouch, right leg steps behind, crouch down into your small ball, and lift up and over, extending those arms as far as you can past your head, and go ahead and step to the right side and rotate. Great job. Step together. Left leg comes behind. Crouch down into your small ball. And up and over you go. And let's lunge to the left side. Reaching the arm up. Great work. Go ahead and step back together. Roll your shoulders back into place. We've got one more small segment of our flow that we're going to add on, and then we will move into our core strengthening. So come to the end of your mat, please. Hinging forward at your hips. Walk yourself out into a plank position. Good. I want you to soften those knees, soften your elbows, and lift up through your chest, waking up our back. Great job. Push back into a child's pose. Great work. From here, lift your hips nice and high into a downward facing dog. We're gonna lift our right leg up off of our mat and step forward into a lunge position and hold. Look out past the end of your mat, making sure your knee is over your ankle. Great job. And step that foot back into a downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and send it forward into a lunge position. Once again, extending through the back heel, looking forward past your end of your mat. And push back into a downward facing dog. And walk your hands back to your feet. Bend both knees, roll yourself up, and let's try it again. Hinge forward at the hips. Walk out into a plank position. Good. Bend both knees, bend your elbows, and lift. And tucking those toes, rock back to a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg off the ground. Send it forward into a lunge and hold. And right back into your downward facing dog. Left leg lifts off the mat. And send it forward into a lunge position. And take that foot back behind, downward facing dog. We're gonna do it one more time. Walk your hands to your feet. Bend both knees, roll yourself up. And let's try it again. Hinge forward, walk out into our plank. And bend both knees, bend your elbows, and lift. Sending your hips up and back, lifting your right leg up. Send it forward into a lunge and hold. Into a downward facing dog. And left leg lifts. Send it forward into a lunge and hold here. Great work. And send that leg back. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet. And bend both knees, roll yourself up. Very good job. From here, we're gonna step into a nice wide hinge position. So go into a flat back. Good job. Take those hands, let them come down toward the mat. Reach your right arm over towards your left foot and your left arm over towards your right foot. And just gently walk those fingers towards your feet. Feel the nice release through your back and the sides of your legs. Great job. Now unwind those arms and switch to the other side. So just switch which arm is on top again. Not expecting the same flexibility from each side of our body. And come right back through the center. Take a deep knee bend and roll yourself back up. Let's try it again. Toes are pointing forward, hinge at the hips. Reach our arms down toward the mat and slide your right arm to your left leg and vice versa. And again, find a little bit of intensity here by moving the fingers on the mat. And then switch arms. Switch which one is on top. Again, walk those fingers towards your feet. And take a deep knee bend here, unwinding the arms and roll yourself up. You've got one more time like that and then we will move on. So hinging at the hips, letting the arms fall down. And cross the arms, reach towards your feet. And switch which arm is on top. Again, just melt into this flexibility. Every exhale, let your body relax into the stretch. And unwind your arms, bend both knees, and roll yourself up. All right, guys, last one. We're gonna take our knees, bend, and a nice deep squat. Take the hands together, put the elbows to the insides of your knees, lift your chest. Great job. From here, we're gonna take our right hand, reach it toward the ground, and lift our left arm up, trying to keep our hips back. We'll go right back into that sumo squat position, and then go to the other side. So reach across, and lift. Very nice. And then come right back up through the center, releasing the hips for a moment. We'll go right back down. So elbows come to the inside of our knees, lifting our chest. Press a little harder through those palms. And rotate. And switch to the other side. First coming through the center. And through the center and come all the way back up. Great job. You've got one more time here. Nice deep squat. Elbows to the insides of the knees. Lift your chest. And rotate to one side. And to the other side, coming through the center. And release and roll yourself up. Great. We are gonna do those 3 different sequences just like we did before, a couple of times through. So starting nice and tall, feet underneath the hips, hinge forward, and walk yourself out once again into that plank position. So we're gonna bend elbows and knees and lift up into a little baby back bend. Rock back into a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, send it forward into a lunge, and hold. Great job, send it back, and left leg lifts, and step forward. Great job, step back, and walk your hands back to your feet. You've got one more just like that. So hinge forward at your hips, flat back, walk out into a plank position. Great job. Bend both elbows, bend your knees, and lift. Tipping those hips up and back, lift your right leg up off of the mat, send it forward into a lunge, and send that leg back. Lift your left leg up off the mat, send it forward into a lunge. Great job, send it back and walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees softly, roll yourself up. Again, take a nice quarter turn, feet are facing forward, and we are going to hinge at our hips, let our hands come down to the mat, and cross our arms, reaching towards our big toes. And unwind those arms and switch. Great job. Roll yourself back up to a nice standing position and clasp your hands together. Bring your elbows to the insides of your knees, and we will reach one arm across the body and lift. And switch to the other side. And starting from the top of that sequence, let's do it one more time. So hands to the middle, roll yourself up and step to the back of your mat, hinging at your hips. Walk yourself out into a plank position. Bend your elbows and your knees and lift up through your chest. Sending your hips up and back. Lift your right leg and step forward into a lunge. And switch to the other side. Hips are high, lift that left leg. Send it forward into a lunge. And back into a downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet. You get to do that one more time. So roll yourself up, feeling nice and limber at this point. Walk out into a plank position and hold. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, and lift. Great job. Send the hips back and lift your right leg. Step forward into a lunge and get ready to switch to the other side. Lift that leg up. Send it forward into a lunge and send it back. Walk your hands back to your feet. Take a baby knee bend and roll yourself up, and stepping a quarter turn, hinge forward at your hips. Good job. Let your body hang forward. Reach one arm across the other. Wiggle those fingers to your toes. And switch arms. Bending both knees, roll yourself up the middle. Take your hands, clasp them together, and drop down into a nice deep squat. Take one arm, reach it across, and lift the other arm up. And bring the hands back together, and let's switch to the other side. And right back through the center. Roll yourself up, bring your shoulders back and around, walk your feet in, and you are done with your flexibility and flow. Let's move on to our core strength. Get a drink of water if you need one, and you are gonna find yourself down on the mat. All right, so isometric. We're gonna focus on holding a pose or an exercise, really engaging the muscles to hold your body in a nice stable position. And then I'm gonna ask you to do a short segment of that similar exercise, but in a more dynamic more dynamic position. So to begin with, hands on the floor or on your mat. You're gonna bring one knee and hold it in right underneath your belly button in sort of an isometric mountain climber pose, okay? So you'll hold that one for 15 seconds, you'll hold the other side for 15 seconds, and then we'll speed up that mountain climber and go a little bit faster. You'll have a 15-second recovery between each set, and then we'll move on. So beginning with, let's see here. All right. We've got 30 seconds on the clock for our first set of mountain climbers. Get ready, get set, and begin. So hold that knee across your body, look out in front of you, feel your abdominals squeezing nice and tight. If you need to be at an elevated surface with your hands on a chair or a table or couch, that's fine too. Switch to the other leg, bring it in, hold, hold, hold. I find it really helpful to take big exhales, breathing into my abdominals while I'm holding this position. In 3, 2, 1, you're gonna speed it up. So speed up your mountain climber right here. Great job. Come on, a little bit faster. You've got 5 seconds right here and then a recovery. And done. Set those hips back, flip your palms up. We're gonna do that one more time. So exact same thing. Isometric mountain climber, get ready. Place your hands back on the mat. We begin in 3, 2, 1. Toes to the ground and hold. If you'd like to, bring your knee slightly across your midline for the second time through. In 3, 2, 1, switch to the other leg and bring it across your body if you prefer. Keep holding. These are always harder than they look. 3, 2, we're gonna speed this up right here and go. 15 seconds. Come on, drive those knees. Almost there, you've got 5 seconds left. And done. Rock back, flip your palms up, and reset. Moving on, we've got a side plank next. So go ahead and bring yourself out into a side plank position. We'll take our elbow to the mat. We'll lift our lift our hips up off of the mat and reach our hand up toward the sky. Modification for this move is the bottom knee bent and on the floor. So you're just reaching here, holding, isolating with those obliques. Keep going. Now, when we move on, our dynamic position will be a rotation and then a reach. Ready, set, you got 3 seconds, and begin the rotation. Rotate under and lift. Now notice the rotation is happening under the rib cage. My hips are not pivoting and rolling down toward the mat. We are almost done. And time is up. Good job. So go ahead and shake out that arm. We're gonna flip end to end and go on to the other side before we repeat the right side again. So bring your elbow underneath your shoulder. Get ready to pop those hips up and go. Now keeping in mind, you can also stagger your feet by bringing your top leg just slightly in front of your bottom leg if you would like a little more stability there. Great work. Think about lifting those hips higher, reaching your hand taller without rocking back. You're almost there. We've got 5 seconds left in this side plank. Same thing, rotations coming on this side as well, just like the other side. And go, rotate, reach under, and lift up. Great work, you are done. Go ahead and sit up and roll that shoulder around. We're gonna flip end to end and repeat the other side one more time. So bring the elbow down to the mat, palm flat on the ground. Get ready and lift. Now while you're isolating here, think about squeezing your shoulder blades together, open through the chest. Lift your hips a little bit higher. If you want a challenge, take your top leg and lift it off of your bottom leg. Without letting your hips rocking back, Keep your belly button and hip bones pointed forward. Keep going. You're so close. You've got 5 seconds only. That's it. Now for the rotations, I am gonna put my foot down. So putting my foot down, rotating nice and slow. It doesn't have to be a fast rotation here. And that is all for that side. Release, bring your knees in and stretch that arm up and over. It feels so good. Let's hit the other side. And release, good job. All right, elbow to the ground, feet out, and get ready. That's your timer, go ahead and begin. Again, reaching a little higher, option to take that top leg if you want to. Great job, great job. Coming up here, you've got 10 seconds left. I know this feels like forever, but you can do it. And getting ready to set that leg down, add the rotations. Reach under and lift up nice and tall. And that is your last one right there. Bring your hips down to the ground, knees in, and again, take that arm up and over the body. Big stretch for the side of the body. And release. Moving on, our dead bug is next. So here's what that looks like. Let me show you before we go. So you're on the ground, knees are right over your hips. You're pressing your hands to your thighs are pressing against your hands, and it's just a hold, an isometric hold with your back flat on the ground. From there, we're gonna move into some double leg extensions. So we'll reach our arms and legs away and then bring them right back in. So 30-second dead bug, let's hold it. So back is flat, head is relaxed, neck is relaxed, and you're pushing hands to legs and legs to hands. If you don't feel anything, you've got to push a little bit harder against each other. While you're laying here, think about exhaling deep into those abdominals and pressing your back into the mat. And get ready, reach arms and legs away, and then bring them nice and tight to your body, and reach away. Keeping in mind, an option if you need to modify is one leg at a time, just like this. Good job, one more. And relax, good job. You're gonna do the exact same thing, so stay right where you are. Get ready for that dead bug again in 5 seconds. Place your hands to your thighs, press your back to the mat, and begin. You should feel a little bit of shaking going on in your abdominals at this point. Good job, we're almost there. Getting to move dynamically here in just a moment. And go. Reach your arms and hug your knees into your body. Let's do 2 more, and then we will take a nice big recovery. And last one here, and done. Very good job. Roll yourself up to a seated position, and let's move on. We have a hollow hold next. So we're gonna be back down on the mat, similar to dead bug, except our arms and legs are gonna be stretching out. From there, we will move into some little baby flutter kicks. It's gonna feel wonderful. So get ready, hollow hold, inner thighs are squeezing together. We're lifting our upper body up off the mat. You can place your hands behind your ears. You can reach them out long, out to the side. It's completely up to you, but we're drawing that belly button down nice and tight. And if at any time this bothers your neck, just place your head on the mat. But you are gonna keep holding. You're halfway through this hollow hold. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And like I said, as soon as we go into our dynamic movement, it's gonna be a flutter kick. So 3, 2, 1, and flutter it out right here. If you need to put your head down, please feel free to do that. Point your toes, nice strong straight legs. In 3, 2, 1, and hug your knees to your body and reset. We'll try that again here in just a moment. All right, extend your legs, roll your upper body up off the mat, and get ready in 3, 2, 1, and begin that hollow hold. Maybe change your arm positioning if you would like to make it more challenging. Maybe you just want to have them by your side, that's fine too. Great job, great job. You've got just 10 seconds left. Come on, stay strong, you can do it. And those flutter kicks are coming in 3, 2, 1. Let's go, flutter, flutter, flutter. Keep the legs low. If you need to go high, that's fine. These are tiny little kicks. Almost there, 5 seconds, and then a recovery. And time is up, and hug your knees to your body, and we are moving on. All right, our next set of work are wipers. So, wipers, we're gonna do an isometric hold with our legs to one side. Now, the option is to do it with bent knees to make it a little more gentle on your back, so please listen to your body, do what's best for you. But here's what it looks like. Arms are out to the side, shoulders are relaxed to the ground, and we are gonna take our legs over to one side and hold. Now your opposite shoulder is glued to the ground. Now that might be too much for your back, in which case you're going to hold with bent knees, again, still pressing the arms to the ground. So you'll hold one side, and then we'll move into some knee drops side to side, and then we'll hold the other side, and then we'll move into full wipers side to side. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and begin. So hold the legs to your right side, extend them nice and long, and feel those obliques working hard to hold your legs in place. If it begins to be too intense, please bend your knees or bring your hips a little closer to neutral position. Almost there. Remember, when we move on, we're gonna do bent knee drops. So bend the knees and just gently drop them to the side. Exhale back to the center. Inhale to the side, just alternating back and forth. Great job. And one more time. And then bring it right back to the center and hold. Rest for a moment, get ready. We're gonna go to the left side next. Exact same thing, holding that isometric wiper. So legs are straight, arms are out to the side, and drop your legs to the left side. Keeping in mind, one side may be stronger than the other, and that is okay. Try to drop your opposite shoulder to help ground you to the mat. Great job, keep going. And let's take those legs straight, side to side. So again, if you need to modify, please feel free to bend your knees, but we're going straight legs, side to side. And last one, over to the left side, and hug both knees into your body, and you get to repeat each side one more time. So extend both legs up, arms out, and over to the right, hold. Now, can you squeeze your inner thighs and straighten those legs a little bit more? We're almost there, guys, almost there. Moving into that dynamic here in just about 5 seconds. Keep squeezing. And bend both knees, get ready, get set, and knee drop side to side, right here. Good, inhaling down to the side, exhaling right back up to the top. Great job, one more time, and then give yourself a quick breather by bringing your legs in, and we'll get ready to go to the left side next. So stretch up your legs, those recoveries are just too short, aren't they? Arms out to the side, and as soon as we hear that timer, we're gonna go to the left. Good, drop the shoulder, hold, hold, hold. Straighten your legs, you can do it. Try to line up your knees on top of each other. Doing a great job. These are hard moves. And remember, this one will be straight leg wipers side to side for the dynamic movement. And go. Good, exhale to the side. I'm sorry, inhale to the side, exhale back up to the top. And let's do one more right here. Drop it over to the side and up through the middle and hold. Hug your knees into your body. So while we're here on our backs, we're going to separate our feet and move on into a hip bridge for our next isometric hold. If you'd like to make this hip bridge a little more intense, you can lift up onto the balls of your feet, keeping your knees in line with your hips. Stay right here. Quick demonstration for you as we move into our dynamic exercise. You're gonna drop your heels and march your feet. So that's dynamic, we're not there yet, but that is what's coming. And drop your heels, march those feet up off the ground. It's a very small march. Just picking the toes up and pointing them, keeping your hips high. And one more on each side, and take a little rest by dropping the hips to the ground. And we'll get ready and we'll try that one more time. So knees in line with hips. Get ready, get set. And let's lift those hips all the way up right here, squeezing our glutes. Again, option to intensify by going to your toes. Now think about if you can lift those hips a little bit higher. Come on, bring them up. And we are gonna finish by dropping those heels, marching our feet up off of the ground. Very nice job. Great job, great job. You were almost there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Hug your knees into your body. And we are going to move on into a forward extended plank. So here's what that looks like. You're gonna reach your hands out in front of your body. So starting it on your knees, reach your hands out toward the end of the mat. You can either rock your hips forward and be in the extended plank in this position, or you can go into a full extended plank. As we move into our dynamic exercise, you're gonna drop one elbow at a time and then bring it back up, okay? So the idea is arms in front of the body, kind of like Superman. Get ready in 5 seconds. We have 2 sets of this, and then we are done with our core strengthening. So reach your arms and go. Think about connecting your thumb and forefinger to the mat, feeling your upper abdominals engage in this position, and hold. Remember the option, knees on the ground if you need to. Almost there, let's hold for 5 seconds longer. You can do it. All right, get ready to drop the elbows one at a time. So slow drop down, down, up. Now lead with your opposite elbow. Drop down, down, up, up. Keep going. You might feel like you're slipping a little bit, and maybe you actually are slipping. That's okay. And that's your last one there. And drop your knees and rock your hips back. You've got one more set just like that. All right, place your hands, walk your knees or your feet back into position, and begin. Keep in mind your hips are not high, your back is not arching. You're just nice and solid here in this plank position. And again, every time you exhale, draw the abdominals tighter into the back. Only 5 seconds left here, and then we'll drop those elbows for 15, and we'll call it a day. Here we go, down, down, up, up, and again, down, down, up, Up, keep going. Trying to prevent our hips from rocking side to side. That was it right there. And you're done. Send your hips back and release. Walk your hands towards your knees, please, and you're going to lift your arms up, squeezing through your backside and dropping our elbows to the side, wiggling the fingers. Great work. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, rotate to the right side, wrap your hands around your body, and take your head and turn to the side. And inhale right back through the center again. This time rotating to the left side, wrapping your hands around your body. And right back to the center. Great job. Take your right leg and send it out to the side, hinging back at the hips. And sweep both arms up and around. And one more time, send your hips back. And sweep up and around. And take your right arm, reach it up and over, sending your left arm toward the mat. And release. Bring both knees back underneath the hips, and left leg goes to the side, and we will send our hips back. And then reach up and around. Good job. One more time. And send those hips up. Great job. And take your left arm, reach it up and over. And release. Good job. Take your head and just drop it gently to one side, pressing your hands down. Lower the chin down towards your body. And over to the other side. And then right back up the center. Release your shoulders back and around. And thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you had a wonderful workout, and I will see you again soon.